Hello. Woohoo. Woohoo. Hello everybody. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Half-baked chick. Speaking of half-baked chicks, I am not going to talk trash about Psychic Duck. Last video, I kind of talked smack about Psychic Duck, and I go, man, I am going to get into such trouble. Only one person defended Psychic Duck. One. But I know there's a whole army out there. Say hello to Psychic Duck, everybody. Hello, everybody. Good to see you on this Friday Ramble. Woohoo! Yeah. You just stay up there. Give me some advice when I need it. You got it, boss. All right. Wow. How's everybody feeling? Anybody see that the full moon eclipse? So where I am, it was we're in weird weather days. It was muggy and cloudy and rainy. And I'm going, rainy? I live in California. It doesn't rain here. Anyway, it was rainy. And I'm not going to be able to see it. And then at about probably like 8 o'clock, the clouds lifted, the moon came out, and I got to see the whole eclipse. It was awesome. It was so good. All right. Hey, Canada's here. Oh, thank you for sticking with us. Oh my God. This is my Canada shirt. It's the Sasquatch that says better left alone. What the hell are we doing poking the bear like that? That's all I can say. All right. Hello, Judy. Hello, Mini-Nee. I need new glasses again. 3 shifting veils. Hello, Le Mans girl. Speaking of awesome cars. Yeah. All right. Love always wins. And Karen, good to see y'all. Hello, Stephanie and Lucy's mom. Lou's mom. Hello. She had a telescope. Lou's mom had a telescope. Yeah. Good morning, noon. I had to pull up my binoculars to check it out. And I'm like, where did I put my binoculars? Because it's in my marine stuff, and I'm not on the water in the marine land anymore. All right, so one of the things, Tamara, hello from Sacramento. Hello. All right, so we got a lot to cover. It's just insane. But getting back to the full moon eclipse, just a lot of things happening, a lot of people leaving the planet. We had Dolly, we had Tim Curry, and I was talking with Terry yesterday on her channel about how Pam Gregory said this time may indicate a spiritual leader leaving the planet. And as I've posted before, Dolly certainly was that. And then we started talking about Tim Curry. And what he did is he kind of changed the awareness of what it meant to be trans, even though he was a transvestite in the play. It became this cult where people are just screaming and talking about, they'd go into these movie theaters and watch the movie and repeat all the lines, and they would have certain sections that were this part of the movie and that part of the movie. And it would be just this huge event. And so it really opened a lot of people's eyes. And so I think he was like super influential in a way that isn't expected. Another passing was my neighbor last night passed. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So he was 80, Dolly was 80, Tim was 80. Any other 80-year-olds want to go that you can think of? Maybe give them a little push. Just saying, just saying. Was that bad? Was that bad? Psychic Duck says, yeah, that wasn't that good. All right. So with this full moon eclipse, one of the things that I got from it was this is a release time, not so much a manifestation time. I mean, even though they go hand in hand, it's the release. And certainly we released a lot with those big energies leaving the planet. Then we have Nepal. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was just insane. The video of that. And when I think back on, I do have notes. I do have notes. Let me show you. Where is it? U.S. We think we're kind of insulated a little bit, and then we get caught off guard, and because we think that we're all safe and nothing's going to happen to us. Well, that's the way I think. But we have Hawaii, big volcanoes. We have Indiana. We have all the forest fires that are going throughout the western states and into Texas, down into Florida. So it's just not western states anymore. It's huge. And when these disaster strikes, I haven't even talked about earthquakes. When they strike, no one's going to save you. No one except you and your neighbors. So please double check your supply systems. The other thing that I don't know if I talked about enough in my rants, I sound like a broken record, please be prepared, is have a radio that doesn't necessarily need batteries. They have Red Cross and other places have a wind-up radio that you can at least listen to a sound, another voice that it just helps to hear another voice besides the inner voice that we're hearing right now. Well, not right now, but in a disaster. It's scary. It's just comforting to hear that. Okay. So again, be prepared. Radios, food, pet meds, water filter, that'd be a good one. And know that if a big disaster strikes, shut your water off to your water heater, because that's a lot of water you can drink. All right, so let's take a look at, I'm going to use my Galactic Heritage deck real quick to see, is there something, actually I'm not, because this is not letting me shuffle very easily. Is there something that we should be letting go of? I'm using my Fifth Element deck, which brings us into the ethers a little bit. Ooh, yes. All right, so what is it that we are afraid to let go of, afraid to release? Let's just give us a little peek. We'll just do 3 cards before we get into the politicky ramble. Seeker of Fire. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. So a seeker is like a page. So a page of wands. What is it that we should let go of? Looking for new information. Looking for the Page of Wands bringing forth some new. I think we have enough information as to what we need to fix. Do we need any more, or do we kind of have it? We have it. We know what we need to fix. What else do we need to let go of? Ooh. Well, okay, this is a good one. Oh, good Lord. What do we need to let go of? Death. What? The fear of death? So I'm reading this book from Tony Hillerman. I think that's his name. Is that right? Hillerman. He wrote the Dark Wind series, and that was on AMC Netflix. And it was about a Navajo policeman solving crimes. And so I just finished a book called Skeleton Man. And it talks about how when the Hopis came from the underworld after their world died, and the ant people took them to the underworld, taught them how to manage water and dry farming. And when they came out, they met creator energy called, and I'm going to mispronounce this, I apologize, Mwasa. And Mwasa taught them not to fear death. Okay then. So that's what I think about this card. This has an Egyptian flavor to it. I think it's Isis, I'm not really sure. But anyway, what do we let go of? Let go of that fear of we're going. I think live life now. And the last, what we should let go of is the Eight of Shells. And this is the Eight of Cups. This is walking away so that we can find our inner self, our true beings, our trueness, our true selves. Okay. And there was a certain attachment that we're hanging on to too tight. All right. Let me go. Hang on. I got to go back to listen to what you guys are talking about. There it is. Woohoo! Back to you guys again. All right. Yeah, Tony Hillerman's books, they're really interesting. I find that they're a little too short. You know, I go, can you get into that aspect a little deeper? Can you get into that aspect a little deeper? Yeah, so, and he has passed, but he has a whole bunch of books on that, and his wife seems to have written a couple of books, so I'm going to start looking at that a little bit. All right. Let me just see if there's anything. If you guys have, King of Norway? Is that Norway? Died last night, Tamara? King of Norway. He was 89. Yeah. So, you know, there's just going to be, you know, I think about with, you know, when I walked past my neighbor's house, I didn't really know him that well. He was kind of a shut-in, super nice, but he kind of kept to himself. He had a hard time communicating at first. And it felt like he was afraid that, you know, his words wouldn't flow out easy. And so it took us almost 3 or 4 years before he was freely speaking with us. And he never could remember our names, ever. And so whenever we'd see him walking dogs, you know, I'd go up and say, hey, Don, Danny, Jolene, I'm talking. Give him the name so he wouldn't have to stumble and go, what? I'm sorry, I can't remember your names. But I walk by his house and I think of the the things that the family is now going to have to go through in cleaning up and letting go, and what is important to keep and what is not. And I've talked about this with some other people, and it's like, you inherit a house and you got all this stuff and it's not yours, but it's kind of hard to let it go. All right. Ooh, I like that one. I'm going to show that one. Tony's daughter is writing Chi Lee porn stories now. Oh, her daughter. Okay. I hope they continue that series. It was really good. Robert Redford was an executive producer on that. So. Have you ever meditated and visited the ninth dimension? I have. That's a good question. I have a. I didn't graduate grade school, so I have a hard time counting to 10. I get out of 3D, 4D, 5D, and when I'm in 5D, the fifth dimension of the ethers, I'm gone. So I don't know. After that, I don't know the numbers, and I just haven't looked at them. Who wrote those numbers? That's what I say. But so I think I might have been, but I don't know what it was called. That's a good question. I need to dig into that more, and maybe when I drop in with do another show with Terry at Holding Your Space, we can talk about that. Because that's a great question. Ninth dimension has to do with time and becoming fluid. Yeah, see, so the thing with time and being fluid, we tend to think, boy, I'm not going. This is a ramble. I got to tell you, because this is not politics. As we think of linear time, and as we are in our 3D bodies, which we go, I was thinking about this today, what holds us from dropping into the ethers? Well, it's our religious beliefs. That was a big one for me. It was our parental unit saying, you're stupid. You can't do that. Right? Like, you can't see into another room if you're in this room. You can't walk through psychically a wall to be with somebody else. You can't have telepathic communication. And I remember being, when I was really young, and talking to my imaginary friends, I remember having telepathic conversations, and then and this is kind of funny, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna talk to my friend and see if they get it, and the friend didn't get it, and I go, oh, I guess I can't do that. Well, what I didn't realize is that my friend was in 3D, but if I started doing telepathic communication to somebody in the ethers, then what would I get? I would get a straitjacket and they would put me in an insane asylum. That's what I would get. All right. You can achieve a feeling of peace and unity in different dimensions easier than here. I did a reading for this person to ask me to drop into the future time stream. And in that, I got so much unity, so much balance. And it's in the next couple of years. And we as people who hold the light and stay in love and joy and happiness versus the fear of clickbait, YouTube, all that stuff. We are going to be the mentors of that. Okay. Hello, Danielle. Hello, and Sherry. Woohoo! Working, lurking. Working, lurking. All right. So that's cool. Cool. And Danielle, let me just throw a little plug in for Spirit Art by Danielle. She does all that ninth, 10th, whatever dimension, and she can say how high she's been in the dimensions. She has an app for, is it $9.99 or $7.99? I think it's $9.99. It doesn't matter. It's cheap. It's called The Work, and you can get it on Apple and Google for your phone. And you just pull one card, and it dives really deep into a metaphysical area. And it's really enlightening. So I recommend everybody get that. Last night during the solar eclipse, I pulled one of her cards. I think I saved it. Let's see. Did I save it? Where is it? There it is. There it is. I hope it comes up. Cut the cord. That's what I got. And it had all these chakra centers. And you know what's holding us back? And that's what that eclipse moon was all about. So really, really cool. Really, really cool. It's an oracle deck. Just put that up there. The Work Oracle deck. And anyway, Danielle, do a show on dimensions. That would be good. Okay, let's get into a little political ramble. How long have I? 22:11 as I looked at the time. Yeehaw. So, I know, Danielle, it's always accurate. It's so bizarre. It's really cool. Anyway, let's go. Where's my notes? Where are my notes? And then you guys put some questions in, and so I do want to get to that too. Let's look at the vote by mail thing, because that just, our elections are coming up, and it's really, really, really important that we double check our voter rolls. Make sure we're still in the system. I even hate saying that, but make sure they haven't kicked us out. So, I'm feeling that really strong. Do this now and keep doing it. Don't, oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no worries. It's kind of like preparing for a disaster. No, I think I got enough stuff. No. Double check now. Do it. Voter rolls. Make sure you haven't been kicked off. Do what you can to talk to your representatives. In California, I can kick back. I don't need to do it. No, I need to do it. The red states, please call your representative. Tell them how angry you are. And if they ever want you to vote on their side, whatever that side is, they better get their act together, because this is not right. I just saw a truck on a Ford truck that had all these bumper stickers, and it said, "Protect the Constitution." And it was a MAGA truck. And I'm like, yeah, how's that working out for you? Protect the Constitution, when the Constitution is being decimated. Anyway, that's not where I wanted to go to. So the Supreme Court, another thing, the Supreme Court said that Trump could use the USPS, the post office, to check voter rolls. And they said, well, the case before the court, the Supreme Court, wasn't ripe. And I go, it stinks to me that I planned that joke. It was bad, wasn't it? Anyway, So they said the USPS hasn't said they were going to implement this. It's just another one of Trump's executive orders. Yay, Ontario. And so it didn't mean anything. But then the USPS said, here's the plan, we got this, it's ready to go. The judge immediately, and this is Judge Talwani, granted a 14-day temporary restraining order. Now, this is a temporary, it's not the big one. I think it'll happen, but still, you've got to talk. I mean, this is going to disenfranchise a lot of voters, not only Democratic, but independents. That's what they call themselves now. Independents. The other thing, too, this is scary as hell. Do you all know who David Michael Levin is? Well, a decade ago, we've been living through this crap for 10 years. He was charged with 3 felonies after illegally accessing government election websites in Florida. Today, where is he? Well, he appears to have landed inside Trump's Civil Rights Division, part of the Department of Justice charged with enforcing federal voting right laws. And the DOJ is also thinking about deploying 1,000 election monitors around the country. So, the states have the right to run the elections. That's in the Constitution. So why is he trying to meddle in that, and why is the Supreme Court allowing him to do that? It's beyond me. But this is where we need to get out and speak up and say, hell no. And I'll read on this a little further as we get into it. But, geez. Yeah, geez. Okay. Back to the comments. All right. Here we go. A little good news in Ohio. MAGA trucks are morphing into American 250 trucks. No junk. Yeah. So they're morphing, but there's still that same underlying thought process with them. So it's just not inflammatory, I think. It's just not poking the person who's making the noise. So, and I've mentioned this before, instead of if you're talking to your independent relative, neighbor, your 250 friend, it's probably best not to start slamming Pumpkinhead right away and calling him names like he calls everybody. But it's probably best to poke at the policies. And what can we poke at? The Epstein files? The Iran war that's supposed to never have happened, that's supposed to be an in and out thing 6 months later, no end in sight, lower prices, can we poke on that? There's so much we can poke at that they will be in agreement with. Who was it? I think it was Heather Cox Richardson that was talking about the people who are really angry or really support Pumpkinhead is like, I mean, just the hardcore ones. I fully support this guy. He's like 17%. 17. Like, oh my gosh. I can't even believe it's 17. All right. Yes, Barbara. big surf fires. I haven't looked at that lately. The Hawk Fire near Reno. Oh my gosh. But it's we could just keep going on and on and on. And there is getting back to letting things go. Not again, ramble. When we let things go, in a shamanic culture, there's a whole process of letting things go. Sandra Ingerman had a great course on death and dying and letting the having ceremony for dealing with the loss in the process of the death process. And there's an honor with that. And so with all of this leaving of the planet, I think about the trees that are being just wiped out, the animals. So plants, animals, humans. Make a ceremony to honor them as they leave. And it's still not too late with this eclipse energy to set a ceremony of release and honor. So it's hard. It's hard to think about that. Okay. Okay, here we go. Wondering if many of you watchers ever answered one of those polls. Oh, yeah, and you got to be. That's a good one, Karen. So I'm gonna ramble on that just a little bit. There's going to be so much misinformation out there that you really have to dig into it and do your work. So, like, even if we go to the Jeffries APAC, Pumpkinhead's son-in-law, Kushner's, that meeting there, you do some research and you can go Google it and go, what was the positive outcome of that meeting? What was the negative outcome of that meeting? Okay, what's the positive for APAC? What's the negative for APAC? And then you can figure out how that makes sense to you and tries to give you a clearer picture. Because sometimes you just go on the right, sometimes you go too far on the left, and you're not getting some information that makes sense to you. It just is like out there. So anyway, off topic again. All right. Okay. How do I get rid of that? Hide. Thank you, Karen. That was good. All right. So I want to get into some of your questions. Talarico in Paxton. Oh my goodness. Talarico in Paxton. I just saw Pumpkinhead walking down the steps, the Air Force One. And do you notice how he's walking? Oh, uh-oh. Did my necklace break? I caught it in time. All right. Necklace leaving. Things are leaving. All right, just leave that up there. I'm going to have to do a ceremony to take what this necklace offers and reconfigure it so it benefits me better. All right. Pumpkinhead walking off of Air Force One. Have you noticed how he walks? His hands, he pats things and they shake a little bit. This guy is so unwell. So unwell. As we go more and more and more. And he is the 80-year-old that I was talking about that is going to go see ya soon. There's only so much life drugs can give you. And what he has given us is something to reconfigure. It's kind of like my necklace. I'm going to have to take it all apart and then restring it back together again. And I think if we stay in the positive restringing mode, and how much fun I'm going to have adjusting and changing and adding a few more beads, maybe some different beads to that. It's going to be fun if I just sit down and do it, right? Okay. Tallarico and Paxton. So Trump goes to Texas to pump up Paxton, another fine, upstanding person that doesn't have any criminal record. Psychic duck is quacking right now, screaming in my ear. Tallarico, if you look at the funding, if it's true, $17 million. Paxton has 1 point something. Huh. Tallarico is also campaigning with this guy. Let me see if I can remember his name. I wrote it down. Bobby, come on, glasses, focus. Pulido. And he is a Tejano singer that retired from singing to run for the 15th district in Texas versus Monica de la Cruz. So Tallarico and Bobby, that's easier for me to say, are getting together and doing events, and they're bringing in a lot of people. Tallarico versus Paxton. I think I have the wrong deck. I think I'm going to switch. I'm going to get my political deck, this is the one I've been using a lot for politics and stuff. It's just a good deck. Just a good deck. And at the base, as I pull it out, coming in as a winner. Well, which one? Is it Paxton or is it? So my sister lives in Dallas. She's pretty damn Republican. She hates California. She used to live here. Can't stand it. All the libertards and woke people. So she's pretty red. Although she says she's an independent. And that she hates Trump. And I'm like, well, all right then. Step in the right direction. Baby steps. And that's all we take. Any baby step in the right direction is a good step. So, Tallarico. I'm going to do 3 up top and 3 down below. Tallarico, Paxton. I don't even want to read on Paxton. It's like dark. Ugh. Sewage energy. Okay. Tallarico. No, not yet. Almost. For you tarot readers out there, you know when you can stop shuffling. It's like, yeah. And I remember listening to Nancy Jean's Crystal. She has a great, although I haven't taken it, tarot class. Her and Jeffrey over at Ripe Color. And Nancy was saying, get your intention clear, shuffle once, twice, you got it. You don't have to keep shuffling. Well, as I'm rambling, my intention isn't that clear. Tallarico. 3 for Tallarico. Thank you. Magic. Ooh. The devil. flip Wilson? Is he gonna flip into... The devil made me do it. Magician, devil, ooh, James Tallarico. And tied up, the Eight of Swords. So what is this with James Tallarico? The way he can flip votes, but he's tied to something. What is that? And the ability not to be able to move. Is it that Texas is so red? Is that it? Anyway, 2 major arcanas, and then a minor arcana, the Eight of Swords. Okay, let me flip with Ken Paxton. Yikes, Ken Paxton. 3 cards for you. He's got the Two of Wands. That's something coming to light. He's got secrets. You think? You think he's got secrets coming out? And then he's got the Emperor card. So I'm going to re-ask this question again. Because what I'm getting at, especially with Paxton, is this is his sense of who he is. Tallarico, this is his sense of who he is. He's kind of a magic man. He's got some things that he's tied to. I wouldn't say addictions, but it's keeping him from being really free. So let's just look at who the winner is if the election was held today. 3 cards. Would Tallarico win? If the election were held today, would Tallarico win? 3 cards. He's got secrets. He's got some things coming out that aren't there yet. Suspension, the Hangman, taking a look at it from a different point of view. And then he's got the Fool, going on a new journey. Okay, so I would say, what's the new journey? Okay, I'd keep going with this because I'm not getting a really clear answer. Let's look at Ken Paxton. If the election were held today, would you beat Tallarico? 4 of Cups, 2 of Swords, at a crossroads, and the World card. Something coming to completion. This... I don't know. Yikes. We'll see. I think that let's do some clarifiers on this Fool and the World, where they're going. The World card, Tower. The 8 of Swords, being bound up. I think that Pumpkinhead, it's not going to be good. That Pumpkinhead goes out there. I think world events are going to say no. The Fool, balancing the scales. This is what I was thinking all along with this Moon card and the Hanged Man, that Paxton and Abbott are going to be manipulating the votes. And the clarifiers I get on the Fool card is balancing the scales, giving and receiving, but someone's in there stealing some of the votes. taking some of his swords. And when I go back and I think of that 8 of Swords card that he had, I go, maybe they'll find out. Maybe it'll be the 6 of Swords moving on to Calmer Water. Okay. Very cool. All right, let me move on to the next question I get. I want to I'm going to stick with Texas one more time. Is the governor of Texas, who's that? I think somebody even asked me about that. No, I can't. Oh, yeah. Gina Hinosa and Abbott. So my sister was saying Abbott's gone. And my sister's pretty psychic. She goes, Abbott is gone. So, Hinosa and Abbott. Hinosa and Abbott. Hinosa. Someone's worried. Hinosa. She's got the government. That's a big yes card. And the Knight of Swords. Good cards for her. It's a little scary. She's going, oh, I don't know. Abbott. What are your 3 cards for Abbott on whether he will retain the seat? No pun intended. Ace of Wands. New passion, new stick. Tower, things falling apart. And loss. So I get Hinosa winning the governor's chair. Not Abbott's, but the governor's mansion. So yay, okay, good. Tallarico, you would think that with all of that he would be in a way better position. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Was there anything? People were asking about where Keg's Breath is and where they're both Keggy. They're both Keg's Breath. Kash Patel. I want to read on independent journalism just a little bit. And I'm thinking of Katie Fang, and who was the other one that said Patel was a drunk? Was it the BBC? Was it a big newspaper? Any of you guys know? Oh, Jenny. Hello, Jenny. She said, yeah, it's going to be difficult. Musk has already made deals with Abbott. Uh-huh. Yes. Okay. Yay, Torchwater Oracle. Woohoo. Hello. Okay. I got sidetracked. I forgot where I was going. Oh, I was reading on independent journalism. Katie Fang and I think it was the BBC fighting against Kash Patel. Let's just look at Katie. She's doing a great job with... I just flipped all my cards upside down. She's doing a great job with getting the Epstein files out there. Even though it's taking forever, and the judge is really trying to be bend over backwards for the Department of Justice to to respect the court's orders. And Todd Blanche keeps coming back and says, we don't have anything, we don't need to give it to you, whatever BS he throws out there. And the judge is going, look, I'm trying to work with you here. I'm working with you, but you got to give me something. I asked for these files so that I can review them. Give me the files. And she's looking down the line at this is going to be appealed. Of course it is. That's something. How do we fix that appeals process? It feels like to me, because when I think about it, I go, if we eliminate the appeal, so let's just say somebody is tried for something, they're found guilty, put them in jail, but they're innocent. Something got screwed up. So you don't want to just throw them in jail if they have an opportunity to appeal it. So I think where I'm going with this is that the appeals has to be almost immediate. And I'm sure there's issues with that too. But it can't keep dragging on for years and years and years. That would be stupid, as my sister would say. Stupid. She calls everything stupid. She got a new phone. It's a stupid phone. She's also got a stupid brother. Not me. All right. Katie Fang. How's this going to go for you? Katie Fang. Are you going to get the Epstein files unredacted released? Are you going to get the Epstein files, the unredacted Epstein files? Look at that. King of Swords. Yeah. Her challenge is going to... Ooh, this is in fast. 8 of Wands. Okay. Still more work, still more review. And the final outcome is the Emperor. The potential near future, I should say. So is she going to be able to do this? I say yes. I say yes. The immediate near future, you have the Emperor stepping in and saying, oh, hell no. No, you can't get these. This is Katie Fang's reading, not the Emperor's reading. Is she going to be able to get it? Katie Fang is going to pull some magic. It's going to look like, oh, this is done. The Emperor has spoken. The Emperor has something. It's done. But so Katie Fang has the Magician in the internal position. She has the 6 of Cups, going back to a simpler time, to an innocence in the external position. So this is about righting what was wrong in the past. The hopes and fears for Katie, she hopes it's a Tower moment for those people. And what does she get? She gets the big stick. New information coming. Passion. Fire. I do 2 clarifiers for that final outcome. Lovers, this can go sideways with this card in this reading. But it's contracts. Another 6. Another abundance card. And stabbed in the back. I'm not seeing that that this investigation got stabbed in the back. I'm feeling that there's going to be restriction. People are going to be stuck, and they're not going to be able to move from this. Like Pumpkinhead, there's going to be, and it's just not him. It's our awakening to. It's just not a few elites. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. Okay. Let's see. Any new comments? Amber, yes. I feel like Katie is getting some angelic and universal help. She's doing phenomenal. Yeah. Yep. Throw the bum out. Stupid. It's stupid. Okay. Yeah, it's just not him. All right. Let's see. I think I had some other questions. Let me go back to YouTube post. And thank you guys for the questions. Okay. The last one. Damn 88980. Talking about wild Mustangs being rounded up, slaughter for ground beef. So I read a couple of things on this ground beef that's coming from where Argentina or South America, some country down there. And I read that it went to China. China rejected it because it was tainted or didn't pass the inspections or something, and that it was coming to the U.S. Trump said, "Oh, I'll take it. And it pissed off all the ranchers. That's the other thing with Tallarico and Texas, is that Pumpkinhead has pissed them off so much. Even Abbott is flipping on, what was it that he flipped on? Oh, data centers. He was big supporter. Now he's flipped on that. Byron down in Florida is still sticking with his guns on data centers. And that's a sticky wicket, because people are using AI all the time, and it's going to get better, and the computing systems will get better and smaller. And is it here to stay? I think yes. But right now it's clunky. I worked at a place in Colorado, squirrel moment, called NBI. And it was a word processing company in Boulder, Colorado. And I worked there for a year or something. And PCs just started coming out. So I knew the word processing system really well. It was a big clunky machine. The floppy disks were 8-inch disks, and the printers were huge. And it was a $10,000 machine that had a big CRT monitor. Little, but it was big, right? And we could just see where this technology went. And it was like, whoa, it's huge, crazy, fast. Just where it went from here to here to here. And for those of you who are wondering what NBI stood for, the owner of the company went to get a patent or to register the name, and he used an equation. And they said, you can't copyright an equation. So he came up with NBI, nothing but initials. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, so now you look where the computing power has gone to. And you look at our phones. Well, you look at your phones. I don't know where mine is. You look at your phones. That has more computing power than the shuttle that went to the space, the rocket that went to the moon. So it's going to get smaller. It's going to be better. But having that hum and the EMFs in neighborhoods, and people don't even, mainstream doesn't even think about EMFs yet. So we're in this transition. Yeah, it should not be next to homes and houses. It's going to create so much health issues. The water that they're using, and then where does it go? And is anybody testing the water coming out of those data centers? Probably not yet. Probably. Okay. Somebody that was capitalized. Hope to eclipse the full moon 28th from Canada. All right. Hope to see the eclipse from. I don't know. I think it's over tonight. I don't understand some of those things, but anyway. Yeah. So I'm not going to read on the data centers, but we have, getting back to the beef and the slaughter of horses and the slaughter of our natural lands. What Pumpkinhead in this administration is doing has no respect for the creative, connective tissue of life. And I just saw this thing last night where you're why it's important to touch a tree. And I think it was AI, which kind of creeped me out a little bit, but it's talking about the scientific, what happens with when you touch a tree scientifically. How does a tree get so big when it doesn't use any resources from the land? It's all star energy. It's coming from the air, and the transfer of energy is amazing. And what we have in this time stream, in this government, is such a limited awareness of the interconnectedness of us all. I mean, I know a lot of people think that rocks are just stupid. They don't move, they don't think, they don't talk. My friend Ariana wrote a book, Conversations with Nature. She talks to rocks. Very insightful. Very. I think we would do better having a rock as president than we have as Pumpkinhead. Just saying. And my phone agrees. All right. Oh my gosh. How much fun have we had? 1 hour and 3 minutes. Woo, woo, woo. All right. Moon Shadow by Cat Stevens. Yes, 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 yes. Gator and Hush Puppy's gonna be safe still. I don't know about Hush Puppies. All right, so let's do since we're talking about the interconnectedness of it all, let's throw one last one. Stay in that higher vibration as much as we can. There is so much that can drop us down into we're never going to get out of this. But if we just use our imaginations to slip into another time stream, we think a time stream linear, think of it as a circle, as a sphere, and we can tap into any sphere point and be in a different time stream. And if we use our imagination to say, I want to be in a time stream where a rock is actually making decisions, it might be a little slower. There might not be the executive action that thinks Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you, Foggy. Thank you. That he could just think that he can change the name of a lake or an ocean or the Kennedy Center. Oh my gosh. All right, let's use the Beyond Lemuria deck. Let's slip into Lemuria land. Pick a card in your mind's eye from 1 through 4. 1 through 4. And this will be your card. And then we have one for the collective. One for, come on. One for the collective. Thank you. All right. All right. 1. Star Seer. Oh, come on now. Star Seer. One of the things I do in my journeys is I'll have a healing dome, and in the center of the dome, there's normally a fire pit, and there'll be a ladder that goes up the dome into a portal, and you get to look out, sit on top of the dome, and look at the stars. And that's where I may have gotten that ladder from. Or maybe the card got it from me. I don't know. All right. Who picked number 2? Home. Phone home. E.T. Phone home. So, in the home is where your heart is, right? So, this card to me, I go, is it longing for home, or are you making this your home and you're saying, this is it, home? So, you're not that into the chaos of it all, but you're into Mother Earth and you're making this. You're talking to rocks, pretty much. All right. Number 3, you got full spectrum. Wow. This feels like the card that I got last night in the Oracle app, the work, where it was cutting the cords and it had all the chakras. I've been dealing a lot with adjusting, cleaning, polishing my energy centers, my chakra centers, and so dropping into meditation and just seeing, getting my little eyeglass cleaner out and doing a little cleaning around here, you know what I'm saying? Polishing them up, making them shine real bright. Full spectrum. This is letting them all shine together, no blocks. Very cool. Number 4, who got 4? Boom, high heart chakra. So this is another thing where you're talking about dimensions. And when we're talking, how many dimensions are there? How many chakras are there? So, they're just not here, but, they are all around us. So it's not, we tend to think linear, going back to that, but they're bigger, it's wider, it's more expansive. So the high heart chakra, tapping in to the divine, into the bliss, into just to ecstasy, and shining that. Thank you. And then as we put all those together, the card for everybody, I don't know if I can read this, Manifestia. I don't know what really that is, but it's like manifestation. What are we manifesting? What are we thinking about? What we think about, we create. So if we're thinking about Pumpkinhead and how well, then we're creating more Pumpkinhead and how. So think about, for me, I want to think about a world where people are kind, compassionate, loving, no matter what color skin they are, what nationality, what religion, what sex, what they do. As long as we're all in community of light and love, that's what I want to manifest. And I mean, you can still have disagreements just to spice things up a little bit, but there is still that core respect and belief. All right, thank you guys. Thank you for being here. It's 10:10. I'm going to end this at 1:11, I think. I don't know how to end this on time. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace and love. Oops, well, can't end it that way. There we go.